Hey guys, what's going on? My name's Adam, and thanks for joining me today. So we're going to do our weekly update on NAT. First thing to note is that their second quarter results are going to be posted on August 17th, 2020, before the stock exchange opening. And we're going to look at tankers who have just announced their second quarter results and see what could be in store for Nordic American tankers based on that. And of course, their dividend of 20 cents per share is coming, and they are recording that on August 28th, 2020, and then to be paid out on September 4th of 2020. Okay, so this week, NAT is down by about 1% over the month, up by around 10%. So again, good upward trend. Part of this could be the spot rates for NAT. So this past week has been an increase, about more than 10% move from 14,000 to 15,500. And of course, NAT owns just Suezmax vessels. So this means that they'll be able to charge more money for each voyage, and it costs around 8,000 per day for NAT to maintain their vessels, right? So again, this is good news. The higher the spot rates, the higher they're going to earn. And if we look at this graph again, it's sort of 2020 levels are in line with the 2019 and 2018 levels. And as we move into the winter, like I've said, the spot rates should just increase. Okay. As we can see, on Monday, the rates were for the Suezmax vessels, of which NAT owns 23 of them, were 11,000. On Tuesday, they were 11,600, and then went back down to 11,000, and then finally on Thursday, 11,400. So because the average for this week was 15,500, it could mean that Friday is like a big increase in Suezmax spot rates. Okay. One thing also to notice though is that the VLCC, which carry twice as much oil as the Suezmax vessels do, their rates were actually down by about 1,000 this week, or well, no, like 500. And also the Aframax, which carries I think 500 or half a million barrels of oil, rates will also down by $300. Okay, so but Suezmax was up, so I'm not sure why. But again, that's just good for NAT as they solely own Suezmax vessels. Okay. One other thing to note is that oil settles just below the 5-month high amid fuel demand worries. So basically, oil has been rising and rising steadily, just reaching that sort of 5-month high barrier. But bearish sentiment about fuel demand counteracted optimism about Iraq supply cuts. So basically, OPEC is increasing production, but some countries such as Iraq have to cut production just because they overproduced in the previous months. So basically, Iraq said it would make an additional cut in its oil production of about 400,000 barrels per day in August to compensate for its overproduction over the past period under the OPEC supply reduction pact, right? Okay, so now we're going to move into the latest earnings from other tankers. So the first one will be EURN. And let me see if I can blow this up a bit. So basically, their revenue, I'm just going to move that over a bit. I think that would be a bit worse. Okay, so their revenue from first to second quarter increased quite dramatically. So we can see their revenue right here from first quarter was $416 million, because this is in thousands of American dollars, and then it increased to $434 million. Okay, and that transferred to their bottom line. So their profit increased from the first quarter of 2020 from 225 million to close to 260 million, right? So about like a 35 $1 million increase in their net profit, which is huge on a company that's just doing around like 200 million in profit. So what they're doing with this money is giving it back to shareholders by repurchasing shares. So commits an additional 25 million allocated to share repurchases from Q2 earnings, right? So again, this is good news because it's just returning shareholder value. But the thing is, I think a lot of this optimism about second quarter results were already priced into the market. So as you can see, that right now, and they just announced earnings on August 6th. Today's the next day, and the Euro NAV is down by like 1%. We look at the 1 month chart; it's like in the green, but they just reported earnings, and I mean, the stock is down by 1% on the day, right? So again, that might not be good news for NAT, just because maybe already so much good news is priced into NAT. And sort of the same thing happened with STNG. So STNG reported earnings, and they made a ton of profit. I believe they made like over 100 million in just profit. As we can see here, like they made it $2.40 per share, but since they missed estimate earnings, by about 44 cents, their stock again is down by 3%. So, I mean, this doesn't look like good news to me, and I don't know if what will happen um, to NAT once they release earnings and the earnings are really really good, but maybe they miss estimate earnings. I don't think they will, but if they do, then that might not be a good thing for the tankers, NAT's tanker stock price, right? Because Scorpio tankers, although they missed earnings, they still posted phenomenal earnings. They definitely beat Q1 numbers, going from like 82 cents a share to all the way to $2.40 a share is huge, right? Um, so again, this to me, that's not like a good sign for NAT. But again, who knows? I think they will have a decent chance of beating earnings. So I think consensus is that they're going to earn around 29 cents a share, whereas I believe they'll earn anywhere from 30 to 31 cents a share. But again, only time will tell on August 17th. I do think they will have really good earnings. But again, since already so much good news is priced into this market at the moment, it might actually result in a decreased stock price. But I mean, I'm going to hold up my my portfolio in NAT. I have 350 shares, and I'm down on the position. But I do think that in the long run, and even maybe in third quarter, they'll post good results as well, and then this will push the stock price higher, right? But I mean, I like the 1 month trend up 10%. 6 month trend is sort of all over the place, but this was when all the hype was around tanker stocks in general, and then it's took a free fall from there. Um, but I do think that Nordic American tankers will still be a good one to hold, right? So if you're holding it, I would continue to hold it, but know that I'm not a financial advisor. I'm still going to hold my position, and I look forward to seeing the earnings on August 17th, which is going to come in a week and a half. So let me know what you think about all this news about the latest tanker earnings from Euronav and Scorpio tankers. Um, and what do you think that NAT is going to do once they release their earnings? Anyways, if you like this video, please make sure to give it a like and subscribe, and have a fantastic Friday.